What's going on, y'all? My name is Cam and I'm a social worker, and I'm here to talk about Direct Commission Course. So Direct Commission Course, or DCC, is a school for direct commission officers. And for the purpose of this video, I've decided to break it up into two different parts. First being, what is DCC? Why is it necessary? Next being is, what can I expect when I get to the course? And how do I best prepare for it? For a more detailed breakdown on the course, you can actually check out my website at armysocialwork.com, or you can just click on the link below. So DCC, or Direct Commission Course, is held at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, which is a place for direct commission officers to earn their commission. Upon completion of the program, you'll be referred to as a commissioned officer. Now, commissioned officers are different from, say, a warrant officer, who are like the technical experts of the Army, or a non-commissioned officer, who are enlisted soldiers who have gained a position of leadership. So most officers gain their commission either through OCS or ROTC. DCC is a school for those direct commission officers who haven't earned their commission from those other types of schools. And the Army brings in these officers because they already have a certain set of skills needed by the Army. Most direct commission officers are either doctors, dentists, nurses, or like myself, social workers. However, there are other types of direct commission officers like legal officers or chaplains. So a question I get asked a lot is, hey, I'm a prior service soldier, and do I still need to go to DCC? And the answer is, if you haven't been through commissioning school and you haven't earned your commission, then the answer is yes. So per law, every commissioned officer must go through a commissioning source. Direct Commission Course is one of those courses. This was a source of contention for a lot of the prior enlisted soldiers. I myself am a prior enlisted sergeant, and this could be frustrating for some people. And this brings in my first bit of advice for the program, both new soldiers and prior service folk. Be patient. Some things in the Army just don't make sense right then and there, and that's okay. That's part of being a soldier. That's part of being a leader. So part 2 of this video log here. What can I expect when I get to DCC? How do I prepare? Is this like basic training? Well, to answer that last question, no, this isn't like basic training. When you think about basic training, you think about doing a bunch of push-ups, a lot of intensity, being yelled at all the time. Don't get me wrong, there is a bit of intensity to this program here. You remember that you are training to become a soldier. Just keep in mind that it's dialed way down, because you're going in as a direct commission officer. You're going to go into this course with your rank. I came in as a first lieutenant. What's interesting is that the course is run by non-commissioned officers, who you will technically outrank. This can create an odd dynamic, but don't let that get to your head. So this brings in advice bit number 2. Trust your NCOs. They have a wealth of knowledge, and they're there to do a job. They're there to train officers. Let them. And when you exit the program and you go to your duty stations, remember to rely on your NCOs. We cannot complete the mission without them. So DCC is about Army fundamentals. Your duty day typically goes from about 04:30 to about 17:30. However, you can get up earlier, or you can be training later. It really just depends what's on the training schedule there. And you'll have weekends off, but it's not like a weekend off that you might be used to. So you won't have a car, you're not gonna be able to leave post, and it's a privilege. And so your privilege might let you go to the PX or the commissary, like the shopping centers in the Army, but you can't go alone. And that privilege can be taken away. And in every single Army school, privileges are never guaranteed. You have to be compliant with the program. So the bulk of the program is gonna be those Army fundamentals. And those fundamentals really make up uniforms, how to correctly wear your uniform. In fact, your first day there, we're going to take you to the clothing store to make sure you have everything that you need. And then you're going to learn about Army PT. You're going to learn about marksmanship, the M9 or the M16. You're going to learn about various Army policies and procedures. You're going to learn about land navigation. You're going to learn about Seabird, which is the gas chamber. And yes, you're going to go through the gas chamber. And you're also going to take 2 PT tests. So advice bit number 3, start preparing for PT right now. Running, push-ups, eliminate smoking or cut it down if you can, try to decrease coffee, get in those habits right now. Because when you leave DCC, you're going to go to Bullock, and you're going to need to take PT test there as well. And poor PT will absolutely derail a career. I've seen it myself. So the Army actually has a program to help with physical fitness, and it's called PRT. And you'll be doing that every morning. It's their training program where you do a lot of different types of stretches, basic types of exercises, and it can help you get to at least the baseline minimum in terms of Army fitness. It's not enough to maybe help you lose weight or anything like that, but it'll get you a fresh start. And you can Google Army PRT right now to get an idea of what that will look like. And in addition to the PT, you're going to be doing a lot of marching. So you're going to march to chow in the morning, you're going to march back to the barracks, you're going to march to training events, you're going to march to the bus. You're just going to march a lot. And the intention of that is just to teach discipline and order. And it might seem different to you. Again, you can Google what marching will look like and start getting practices on the different types of movements. And just keep in mind that Fort Sill is cold in the winter and hot in the summer and always windy. So at the end of the day, you're going to go to the barracks, and the barracks has rules that you must follow. So in the rooms, you're going to be sleeping 2 in a room, and it's going to be 2 soldiers of the same sex, and you're not going to be able to leave and really do anything without this person. And we call this person your battle buddy, which is the Army's term for like your peer. So you can't talk to cadre without your battle buddy. You can't leave the building without your battle buddy. You can't go to the commissary or the PX without a battle buddy. They do that for safety and accountability. So while you're living at the battery, you're going to have other sorts of cleanliness expectations of you. You might have heard about the military standard for making beds. You can check out how to make a bed according to the Army on Google, and you'll see hospital corners. It'll be really, really tight. You can look at that right now, and they'll teach you how to do that as well. And every morning and every night, they're going to inspect to make sure that the bed meets the standards for cleanliness. Again, this is another tool for discipline and order. And so one thing to keep in mind is that the Army has something called fire guard. And so at the bottom of the barracks, there's going to be a desk with a phone, and it must be manned by 2 soldiers throughout the night. So sometimes you have to wake up at 1 or 2 a.m. to watch this phone. If it rings, you got to answer it a certain way. One soldier stays by the phone, the other goes around and mops and cleans. And that's part of the program. So some more general advice about direct commission course. Really going to harp on just going there being physically fit. You're really not going to have the time to go to the gym and run and get fit while you're in the program. Do what you can right now. And this is important to get into the habit of, because your career is going to be full of fitness. You're not going to exit DCC and go to a place where you're not going to do PT anymore. So don't be that leader that fails their tests. Don't be that leader that doesn't look the part. Soldiers are looking up to you. Next being land navigation. So land nav is a tricky concept. It took me a couple times of going through the course and actually executing the mission to finally figure it out. So it's normal, it's different. Odds are there's gonna be plenty of prior service soldiers there. So I would find one of them to see if they can help you out. And when you do the land nav certification, you're gonna go in teams. So find that soldier that you trust who understands it, see if they can teach you. Next being the gas chamber. So I get a lot of questions about the gas chamber. And again, yes, you're gonna need to go. Yes, it's gonna burn. Yes, it's nothing like you've ever experienced. And yes, you're gonna survive. My advice is don't go in there thinking you can hold your breath the entire time. Because they're gonna put you in there, they're gonna make you do push-ups, jumping jacks, they're gonna make you say the Pledge of Allegiance, the Soldier's Creed. The intention is that you're gonna take in the gas, they're gonna expose it to you. It's part of the training. My advice is to stay calm and trust your equipment. You freak out, you engage that fight or flight system, your lungs expand, you're just gonna take in more of that gas. Try to be mindful, take deep breaths before, and when you go in, just try your best to stay calm. It'll be over before you know it, and you're gonna be really surprised about how fast that leaves your system. So the next bit of advice, there's a concept that in the Army we call hurry up and wait. So you're gonna hustle to meet certain deadlines. You're gonna feel like you need to be rushed. And as soon as you get there, you're probably gonna wait 30 minutes, an hour before something actually kicks off. And that's part of being a soldier. So use that time to talk to your battle buddies, to study, talk to the cadre. It's not often you get downtime. And then the last bit of advice is for the prior service folk. be patient, especially when they put the newer soldiers into student leadership position, because they like to take the fresh soldiers and put them in those positions to expose them to leadership. It doesn't do anyone any good to negatively criticize someone. It just impacts the morale of the entire company. You can offer constructive criticism and help them out, and that's being a leader, but it doesn't help at all to tear them down. So yes, you've done these trainings 100 times. Sure, you've actually taught other soldiers how to do these things, but it doesn't do any good just to complain about what you're doing. What you need to understand now is that you are a leader and that your soldiers are looking at your reaction. And when they watch you criticize, they watch you complain, that attitude is going to trickle down to your other soldiers. Start getting into that habit right now of having that poise, that leadership mentality, because we're all in this together. So thank you for stopping by and watching this video. Again, if you want a more detailed breakdown of what to expect at DCC, including the day-to-day activities, you can stop by my website at armysocialwork.com. And I appreciate you joining this military. Being a leader in this Army is a privilege I'll never take for granted. And I love leading soldiers. And I love what I learn from them every single day. Thank you again for stopping by, and best of luck.